Bad news from the NBA. Legendary center Dikembe Mutombo has died at 58 years old. His family says he passed away after a battle with brain cancer. The native of the Democratic Republic of Congo played in the NBA for nearly 20 years. Fans knew him best for his big blocked shots and his finger-wagging celebration that followed. He's also known as one of the greatest global ambassadors to the game. Senior NBA writer for Anscape, Mark Spears, joins me now for more. Mark, thanks for coming on. I know Mutombo was a Hall of Famer and an 8-time All-Star, but you could say his greatest impact came after that as an ambassador, and you wrote an article about that work in 2022. What stuck out to you most about Dikembe off the court?
Well, he bridged the gap from Africa to the United States, not just for basketball, but as a humanitarian. You know, he built a hospital in his hometown. He built a school in his hometown. And he also inspired a lot of Africans to play the game of basketball. And to not only just play the game of basketball, but he would tell somebody like Giannis or Pascal Siakam, hey, basketball has given you the world, but you got to bring it back home and give it back to them as well. So he was more than just a basketball player. He was more than just an icon for the game. He was a humanitarian and just a gentle giant that wanted to make the world a better place.
And people might also know him from his popular Geico commercial. He was known for this larger-than-life personality. So how's he being remembered on that front?
Oh, man, Deke was just an amazing guy, always smiling. You know, I remember flying to Senegal with him and being in the airport in New York, and no matter who came up to him, he took a picture with him. He did the finger wag with him. He signed autographs for him. And when we went to Senegal and the band was playing after one of the games at the Basketball Africa League, he had the biggest smiles. He was bigger than life, just enjoyed life and enjoyed people and never treated anybody lesser than or acted like he was bigger than. He gave the world a hug. And so even if you didn't meet him, you feel like you did because he just had just such a loving personality.
We can't let you go without talking about his basketball skills. He was a defensive force. He had the second most blocked shots in NBA history. What legacy does he leave behind in the world of basketball?
Oh, I mean, sure, certainly can make an argument that he was the greatest shot blocker ever. And he let you know with that finger wag. He was just so long, so athletic, so strong, great timing. And, you know, the Denver Nuggets retired his number 55 jersey. I think a lot of other teams need to follow suit. But, you know, Allen Iverson, when he played with him with the Sixers, he knew that anytime somebody blew by him for a layup, that he had help in Dikembe Mutombo. And he certainly helped people on and off the court.
All right, Mark Spears, great to have you. Thank you.
Yeah, man, sad pass for Dikembe Mutombo. You know, one of the greatest defensive players who ever played the game, and also, not just that, but outside of basketball, you know, he helped, had a charity of his home country of Democratic of Congo, and then also bringing an international game also to Africa as well, the NBA is now more popularized, because of him, not just playing basketball, but also, bringing it to basketball. As you can see, you see a lot of teams in the Olympics, from that's from Africa, like South Sudan. It wasn't Dikembe Mutombo who brought it out there, like Joel Embiid and so much others, to bring all that. So yeah, man, sad day for his passing. Go ahead, Hakeem. What's your take,
brother? It's a sad day, and funny enough, this is somebody who I remember quite well, who I was very in love with. I've had his jersey. Mutombo was not that guy to be played with on that court. But here's the thing, though. Shout out to all the Congolese. Everybody from Kinshasa, check in. Kinshasa. Mutombo was that dude. On court and off court. Shout out to Rose Mutombo, his beautiful wife. Shout outs to Ryan. Mutombo is a true Congolese who loved Congo and was a lover of people. What he did off court meant more to me what he did on court. They said it. He made sure they built a hospital in his hometown. The man didn't really care for money. He was a true African, a true humanitarian. Kept his business out the thing, big giant, loved people, and was a family man. Family man to the point where he even adopted his wife, deceased brother's kids. This is all documented. So we're gonna miss Mutombo. I remember watching his games growing up. This is something that the babies don't even know. This was one of the best players at that point of time from Africa. Him, Manute Bol. It's a number of these guys, but he was notable. Dikembe Mutombo. When you heard Mutombo, you know you wasn't getting no shots in. We're gonna miss him, man. It just tells us that we're getting older, and in the era, that golden era of basketball is over. Because these guys that are playing in the league now are soft like tissue. You couldn't play against Mutombo and think you was gonna get on. That's it.
See, Mutombo, I don't really know too much about him. I don't know a lot, like people that's older than me are aware of his game and how he used to maneuver when it came to being a center in basketball. I know he used to get a very high rebound, and of course with passing assists, I think he averaged about the rebounding. He averaged about 15 rebounds a game, and I'm pretty sure he averaged about like I seen 6 assists. So he was like the version of Shaq before Shaq came out. He used to pretty much run the game. So shout out to him. He left a great legacy behind, and you already know with the Houston Rockets when it comes to not W when it comes to the NBA. So he was the beast. I seen some of his highlights. So I'm being honest, I never saw his game, but people that's older than me used to
Oh,
talk highly of him.
love
Like
him.
you said, Hakeem, you yourself and another guy on Red Midnight was talking highly of him too as well. I watched one of his live streams. We talking about Mutombo. So he this one hurts. This one hurts. And mind you got to keep it in mind he was only 58. And I always talk
Yeah.
about this on this podcast a lot that black men are dying young. They're not dying with the way they should be doing. So that's why I say it's always important to make sure you check on your health. Now he was battling with brain cancer for a very long time,
Yeah.
and then tragically it came to an end. I'm telling people that cancer is something not to play with. That radiation, people say a lot of people who are going through that radiation, and chemo and stuff like that. I have mixed emotion when it comes to stuff like that. But Mutombo fought a hard fight,
Yep.
not only in the NBA but also for his life. Uh, Sadly, his end is too short, and he will definitely be missed.
Oh
Believe
my.
that. Rest easy, big dog. Go
Rest
ahead,
easy.
Joy.
Yeah, man. Dikembe Mutombo was, it's either him or Akeem Olajuwon, one of the best
Oh
shot
my
blockers
God.
the game I ever seen. You can have him, put Mutombo or Hakeem. Those two you can
They
pick
were
from. One of the
whoosh.
greatest shot blockers who ever played the game. Dikembe Mutombo played for 7 teams, and in all the 7 teams, he made a definitely impact. Especially with the Denver Nuggets. He was one of the at the time he was one of the best players in that. Also helping, we went to Philadelphia. Helped Allen Iverson taking them to the finals as well. And also, I definitely remember with Kimbe his last year with Houston, he was with Yao Ming and also Tracy McGrady at the team. That team was pretty decent, man. But other than that, man, yeah, man, this is a very, very sad day, for the NBA world and outside the world. I seen here that he did a lot of things. Back in April 2020, he joined Ask the Doctors as their chief global officer. Ask the Doctor is a platform that connects people from all over the world to the top doctors and healthcare professionals. Um, Also, he was with Sports United. Matobo traveled to South Sudan as a Sports United sports envoy for the U.S. Department of State. He worked with Sam Perkins to lead a series basketball clinic and team building exercises with 50 youth and 36 coaches helping to contribute to the state department's mission to remove barriers and create a world in which individuals with disabilities enjoy dignity and full inclusion in society. And this was in South Sudan. Now, remember, I told you about South Sudan. Like he did so much that we saw South Sudan made their first entries to the Olympics and everything. And the Kim and the Republic definitely has something to do with that. But yeah, not just basketball, not just here in America, but worldwide. Dikembe Mutombo, from Europe, people from North Europe, people from Europe know him, and also people from China know him as well. Like, it's just very, very sad to see him going at 58 with that rare disease of brain cancer, and that he will forever be missed. And I know that all the teams that he played for this season, especially the Denver Nuggets, Atlanta Hawks, and Houston Rockets. I know those three teams that, and I'll say Philadelphia too. We probably will see special tributes when it comes to Dikembe Mutombo when the NBA season starts. So, and he deserves it. So rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. You will be missed, and prayers go out to your families and friends.
Not that, but shout out to the lovely Sherry Brown, who is back from vacation. She said, Hakeem, you looking good.
And you got
it.
I appreciate that.
Shot.
Listen,
finally, looking good shot. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to get married. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the Chicago Reeler. He hashtag 55 was, I think, Mutombo's number.
Mutombo.
And he definitely be missed. And it's sadly to say he died at 58. Like that's crazy.
But
that is crazy.
He left a legacy though, and people need to understand something. Everybody need to take a death as a lesson, positive or negative, how you want it to. You can look at his life and see what he did here and say, okay, he left a positive message here. You know what I mean? He's our ancestor now, and he left a legacy that it has to be respected. There won't be no Mutombo slander. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's a god right now to us. Especially like if you was growing up as a kid in the 80s, and I'm only telling you this, as a foreigner, we leaned it towards the foreign basketball players. Elijah One, Mutombo, Manute, like it was a lot of the African boys that was like, yo, we want to be like these guys. You know what I mean?
And Bobo too. Bobo
too. You know what I mean?
Bobo was 7'6".
7'6".
7'5", 7'6".